In The Lord of the Rings, one of the most iconic moments in the films comes when Aragorn asserts, "You cannot wield it. None of us can. The One Ring answers to Sauron alone. It has no other master." This line has sparked countless debates and comments, especially when it comes to the idea of who could actually wield the One Ring. But is Aragorn's statement completely accurate? While the film presents a compelling argument, the books offer a different, deeper perspective on this matter. In the novels, we find that there are a number of powerful beings who might actually be capable of wielding the One Ring, and that includes some surprising candidates. Today, we'll explore who these individuals might be, what the true nature of the One Ring is, and why some of them could wield it without becoming Dark Lords in the process.
The One Ring is not just a simple artifact. It is a creation of immense evil, crafted by Sauron himself. Its power is so vast that it can corrupt the hearts of even the greatest beings. When we look at the core of the One Ring, we realize that its purpose was never to be wielded by anyone without consequences. As Elrond explains in The Fellowship of the Ring, we cannot use the ruling ring. That we now know too well. It belongs to Sauron, and was made by him alone, and is altogether evil. Its strength, Boromir, is too great for anyone to wield at will, save only those who have already a great power of their own. But for them, it holds an even deadlier peril. The key here is understanding that while some beings might have the strength to wield the ring, doing so would come at a great cost. The ring has the power to amplify the desires of those who control it, but it also twists their will, leading them toward corruption. We see this happen with Saruman, who, while initially a wise and good being, becomes a Dark Lord himself after trying to use the ring's power. The danger of wielding the ring isn't just about the sheer strength it offers. It's the internal battle with its seductive power that ultimately turns its bearers toward evil. Tolkien's writings make it clear. The One Ring is a force that cannot be used for good, even by the wisest of beings. As Gandalf explains in a letter, if a powerful being like himself were to claim the ring, he would become just as corrupt as Sauron. If Gandalf proved the victor, the result would have been for Sauron the same as the destruction of the ring. For him, it would have been destroyed, taken from him forever. But the ring and all its works would have endured. It would have been the master in the end. So, while there may be some who could wield the ring, the ultimate consequence would be their transformation into a Dark Lord, just as Sauron is. The ring doesn't just give power. It takes control of the one who possesses it, slowly eroding their humanity until they are consumed by the same evil that created it. This corruption is not limited to any specific race or class of beings. Whether you're a mighty wizard, a powerful elf, or even a mortal man, the ring has the same danger for all. As we move forward, let's look at who these powerful beings are, and why some of them might still stand a chance of wielding the ring without immediately succumbing to its darkness. As we've seen, the One Ring holds incredible power, but its temptation also carries great danger. So, who could potentially wield it without being consumed by its corruption? Tolkien hints that several powerful beings in Middle-earth might be capable of using the ring, though with varying degrees of success and peril. Gandalf, Saruman, Galadriel, and Elrond are the most obvious candidates. These are beings of immense power, wisdom, and strength, often referred to as the Wise or the Astari. Tolkien suggests that someone like Gandalf could wield the ring, but the result would be catastrophic, not only for him, but for Middle-earth as well. Gandalf himself acknowledges this when he says, "If I had taken the ring to hide it, I would have been corrupted by it. I would have become just like Sauron, and that would have been the end of all things." While Gandalf is aware of his limitations, the fact remains that he is one of the few who could have taken the ring, and even he understands the grave consequences of doing so. His internal strength is immense, but even for him, Wielding the ring would be a double-edged sword. While it might give him the power to challenge Sauron, it would also consume him in the process. Then there's Saruman, who, much like Gandalf, was once a wise and noble being, but was ultimately corrupted by the allure of the One Ring. His fall shows us the inherent danger of the ring. Saruman, who sought the ring to challenge Sauron, was overtaken by his desire for power. He shows us that even the greatest minds and the most noble of intentions are not immune to the ring's corrupting influence. However, Gandalf and Saruman are not the only ones who could wield the ring. Galadriel, the Lady of Lothlorien, is also a potential candidate. In the Fellowship of the Ring, when Frodo offers her the ring, she responds, "I will diminish, and go into the west, and remain Galadriel." Galadriel understands the ring's power and the danger it poses. She is wise enough to resist its temptation, but it's clear from her response that she, too, could wield it if she chose to. The difference is that she knows herself well enough to understand that the price of wielding it is far too great, and the ring would inevitably twist her into something unrecognizable. In The Two Towers, Elrond also shows that, like Gandalf and Galadriel, he too possesses the strength to potentially wield the ring. However, his resistance is rooted in his understanding that it would corrupt him, as it has corrupted so many others before him. Elrond's words echo the sentiment of all the wise beings who could theoretically wield the ring. They have the strength, but they lack the desire to fall to its temptations. But there's something else at play here. As we move deeper into Tolkien's world, we realize that the possibility of wielding the ring isn't limited to just immortal beings. Some mortals, like Aragorn, have the potential to wield it as well. Aragorn's unique blend of courage, leadership, and strength makes him a surprising contender. He might not have the same inherent power as Gandalf or Galadriel, but his extraordinary will and determination allow him to resist the ring's pull, as we see in his actions during the Return of the King. He may not master the ring, but he could wield it with considerable success. Thus, while the One Ring is undeniably dangerous, Tolkien suggests that there are several powerful individuals who, under different circumstances, could wield it. But as we'll see in the next section, being able to wield the ring is not the same as mastering it.
While it is possible that powerful beings like Gandalf, Saruman, Galadriel, and even Aragorn could wield the One Ring, we must acknowledge a critical distinction. Being able to wield it is far from the same as mastering it. Mastery over the ring would mean not just resisting its temptation, but controlling it without becoming corrupted. This is where the true danger lies. Tolkien makes it clear that even the wisest and most powerful beings cannot escape the inherent corruption of the ring. While they may be able to use it for a time, the ring's overwhelming power is ultimately too great to control. As Gandalf warns, anyone who seeks to use the ring with the intention of overthrowing Sauron would fall victim to its lure. "If any of the wise should with this ring overthrow the Lord of Mordor, using his own arts, he would then set himself on Sauron's throne, and yet another Dark Lord would appear." The very nature of the ring is one of domination. It corrupts not only the person who holds it, but also the world around them. Its power doesn't just give strength, it bends the will of its bearer to the point where they become a slave to it. This is why, despite their power, even beings like Gandalf and Saruman could never truly master it. Their intentions might start off noble, but the ring would twist their goals and desires until they became as evil as Sauron himself. This is something that Galadriel understands all too well. When Frodo offers her the ring, she sees herself becoming a dark lady, ruling Middle-earth with an iron fist, surrounded by shadows. She too has the strength to wield it, but as she recognizes, the cost would be too great. The desire to dominate and control would be too strong, and she would fall into the same trap as Sauron. Aragorn, while strong enough to wield the ring, would face the same dilemma. He could not simply take the ring and use it for good. As we've seen with his earlier actions, particularly with the Palantir, Aragorn possesses the strength to resist the ring's power to some extent, but even he could not escape its grasp entirely. The ring would ultimately twist his noble ambitions into something darker. He might resist the ring for a time, but eventually, like all those who came before him, he would be consumed by its allure. The true master of the ring, according to Tolkien, would need to possess not just strength,
but an unbreakable will to resist its temptations. This is why figures like Gandalf, Saruman, and Galadriel can never truly master the ring, despite their immense power. Only someone who already has the strength to resist the ring's pull, someone with an indomitable will, could ever hope to control it. Even then, as Tolkien suggests in his letters, this would be a dangerous path to walk, and the consequences could be catastrophic. So, while the idea of wielding the One Ring may seem achievable for powerful beings, mastering it is another matter entirely. The ring's corruption is inevitable, and anyone who takes it up with the intention of using its power will find themselves transformed into something they never intended to become. In the next section, we'll explore how some beings, like Frodo, could have wielded the ring to some extent, but would still have fallen short of mastering it.
Now that we've explored the potential for powerful beings like Gandalf, Saruman, and Galadriel to wield the One Ring, and even Frodo's surprising to resist its temptation, we come to the question of Aragorn. Could this mortal man, born of royal blood and descended from a line of great kings, wield the One Ring without being corrupted by it? Aragorn, unlike Gandalf or Saruman, is immortal, but his strength of character and exceptional willpower place him in a unique position. His actions throughout The Lord of the Rings show that he possesses extraordinary leadership, courage, and resilience. His strength in wielding the sword, commanding armies, and even taking control of the Palantir of Orthanc, an object that would drive most men mad, demonstrates that Aragorn has the fortitude to resist the ring's influence, at least for a time. In The Return of the King, after the victory at the Battle of Pelennor Fields, Gandalf himself recognizes Aragorn's strength when he says, "Now, Sauron knows all this, and he knows that this precious thing which he lost has been found again, but he does not yet know where it is, or so we hope. And therefore he is now in great doubt, for if we have found this thing, there are some among us with strength enough to wield it." Gandalf directly implies that Aragorn is one of those with the strength necessary to wield the One Ring. He, along with other powerful beings like himself and the sons of Elrond, is capable of using it. But this doesn't mean that Aragorn could have mastered the ring. Just like Gandalf, Saruman, and even Frodo, Aragorn's ability to resist the ring's corrupting influence would have been limited by his humanity. In fact, Aragorn himself represents a tragic irony when it comes to the One Ring. Though he is strong enough to wield it, he would never be able to truly master it. Even with all of his wisdom and strength, the ring would eventually begin to corrupt him. Aragorn's destiny, as a great king and leader of men, is tied to the preservation of hope, honor, and selflessness, qualities that the ring's power would slowly strip away. His noble intentions could never safeguard him from the ring's overwhelming urge to dominate and corrupt. Tolkien's commentary on the One Ring makes it clear that even the strongest of mortals could not escape the dark allure of its power. Aragorn, with his great courage and strength, might have been able to use the ring for a time, but ultimately, he would have been overtaken by its corrupting influence. Like all those who came before him, his desire to wield it would eventually turn him toward darkness. The story of Aragorn and the One Ring ultimately reveals the inescapable truth about its power. No one, not even the mightiest of men, could wield it without becoming a slave to its corruption. Whether it is a powerful wizard, a wise elf, or a noble mortal, the ring always exacts its toll, turning its bearers into something unrecognizable and destructive. So the question remains, what would have happened if Aragorn had claimed the ring for himself? The answer is clear. He too would have fallen, and just as with Frodo's failure at Mount Doom, the ring would have continued to corrupt and destroy, ensuring that no one could ever truly master it. In conclusion, the One Ring is a powerful but ultimately dangerous artifact, one that no one, no matter how strong or wise, can wield without succumbing to its dark influence. The characters of The Lord of the Rings teach us that power is not always about strength, but about the ability to resist temptation. In the end, it is the choice to destroy the ring rather than wield it that saves Middle-earth, and it is this act of selflessness that defines the true heroes of Tolkien's world.
As we've explored, the One Ring's power is not just about strength, but about the will to resist its dark temptation.
Whether it's Gandalf, Aragorn, or even Frodo, none can wield it without facing its corrupting influence. In the end, the true victory lies in the destruction of the ring, and the choice to reject its power. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Tolkien's world. And remember, the greatest strength lies not in what we can wield, but in what we can choose to let go. Until next time.